Hello everyone, today our topic is going to be very interesting. Today we will talk about a political system. So, before going to understand a political system, first of all we must know what is a system. So, system is a structural and functional organization of two and more separate but interdependent parts, which form an integrated whole to achieve some objectives. And you know every system has two or more subsystems within the environment. For example, a family is a subsystem of a society, or a political party is a subsystem of the state, which is itself a political system. Now let's talk about the characteristics of a system. So there are four characteristics of a system. First one is interdependence. Second one is dynamic equilibrium. Third one is activity. And the fourth one is dependence on external environment. Now let's understand each one separately. So what is mean by interdependence? Interdependence means that the functioning of a system depend upon the proper functioning of its components, parts. In other words, we can say that the properties of the component parts are affected by the properties of the other component parts. Now let's move on to understand dynamic equilibrium. So, what is a dynamic equilibrium? A system maintains itself throughout a limited period of time. If anything goes wrong in it, some regulatory mechanisms comes into operation to restore equilibrium. This disturbance may be due to internal or external cause. This regulatory mechanism is known as homeostasis. For example, human body maintains its temperature at about 37 degrees centigrade both in hot and cold weather. Now, let's move on to activity. What is activity? A system is a flow process. It exists to convert inputs into outputs. What are inputs and outputs? The system takes something from its external environment, known as inputs, and converts those inputs into something that will exit the system, known as outputs. For example, our body inhales oxygen from the outer environment, which is an input, and our body exhales carbon dioxide, which is an output of our body system. Now, let's understand the last but not the least characteristic of a system, dependence on the external environment. What does dependence on the external environment mean? Let's understand it. A system can sustain itself by constantly interacting with the environment around it. Such a system is known as an open system. If a system does not rely on the environment around it and is self-sufficient, it is known as a closed system. I hope you understand it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.